Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in.
Satan? Is that you? How did you get this number? I told you not to call here anymore. I don't want to talk to you since you took all the credit for the suffering I caused. That's not cool, man.
If you will just give me a few minutes of your time.
No, there's nothing you can say. You cut me deep, man. I loved you and you just tossed me aside. I am missing you at all.
I will convince you of the Pyramid Earth theory.
Wait, what? You aren't Satan. He doesn't believe anything near that freaking stupid for starters. Oh, well, that's a relief. So who's this clown then? What do you want?
The pyramidal shape of the Earth was first noticed by the ancient Egyptians.
Pretty sure it wasn't. Nobody's noticed the pyramid shape of the Earth because, well, it isn't that shape at all. Don't even know how that would work.
Shrouds of such information were found in several tombs. As the Egyptians expanded their empire northward, they soon discovered ley lines that went through the Earth.
Ley lines. Ley lines. A supposed straight line connecting three or more prehistoric or ancient sites, sometimes regarded as the line of a former track and associated by some with lines of energy and other paranormal phenomena. Oh, you mean those things that don't real? Well, they kinda do, but they don't mean a damn thing, because essentially if you draw a straight line on a map long enough, it's going to intersect a bunch of at least mildly significant places. And bear in mind, the earliest references to the idea is found in the UK in the early 1900s. So forgetting that it's unlikely that the Egyptians knew about that specific idea, the fact is, if you draw a line in England, you can't help but draw over stuff, because everything in this country is so tightly packed together you would struggle to draw a line and not touch a bunch of crap.
They marked these on several maps.
Okay then, show the maps. Shouldn't be difficult, because if you know about them, you must have at least got access to images of them, right?
This is an accepted fact.
Ah, so no maps, eh? Weird that you wouldn't just show them. Also, accepted fact. Surely it's a fact or it's not, mate. No need for people to accept something for it to be true.
A second incidence of these lines being noticed was in the 1400s by Spanish explorer Cesar Chavez Mojendo.
Right, I gotta ask, what's with the creepy horror music? Like seriously, I get having music for ambience or atmosphere, but at least choose something that makes sense. Surely this should be like mystery music that makes you think, ooh, what are they hiding from us? Not, oh my god, there's a clown under my bed. Not that that's anything new.
As he crossed the Greenwich time zone to come into the New World.
Greenwich. Ew. It's pronounced Greenwich, you Philistine.
He discovered one thing, another set of lines clearly visible on the ocean.
Wow, that's amazing. He discovered ley lines, things that intersect points of interest, on a great big hunk of featureless blue ocean. That's absolutely astounding. Dumb. What's wrong with you?
These lines also intersected other ley lines, and when combined with the Mongols' ley lines, show a pyramidal shape.
Well, I do hope that's not your only evidence for a pyramid-shaped Earth, and you don't just continue on from here as if that's the case, because man, that is ultra weak sauce, and also has a bunch of problems, if that's all there is to it at least.
Now you may be asking yourself, if the Earth is a pyramid...
Oh my god, that is it, isn't it? You drew a triangle on a map, or at least found someone's drawing of a triangle and just went, well, that proves it. Earth am Tringle, me are a smart. Just no, dude. For starters, if that tiny triangle is one side, then the world is smaller than the goddamn moon. And if we live on a geometric shape with sharp edges like that, then why the hell haven't we seen them? They would be pretty obvious. I mean, apparently, a not insignificant portion of my country just abruptly shears away from me at this crazy angle. Can't say I've seen it, and I've been all over this mother.
then why are photos of the Earth and live videos streamed from the ISS show a round globe?
Because that's what shape it is, you dozy mook. Christ, you would think if you had hard evidence to the contrary, you might say, oh, I don't know, show it.
Well, the answer is very simple.
Translation. My answer is very stupid.
Around the 1960s, as the US and Russian space programs took off, they noticed these things. The first pictures of the Earth revealed the pyramidal shape.
Well, at least you believe in space. That's at least 1 point for you not being a complete garbage brain man. It's not much, but hell, I'll take what I can get.
Well, why change it?
Because reasons, obviously. It's not like knowing things like the shape of the planet or how physics works or anything like that is useful or helps us to make things. No!
Why change history and tell people the Earth is round when in fact it is a pyramid?
Are you going to answer that, or are we just going to pretend that you did and act as if we are learning anything?
Well, the governments funded the studies and funded the research associated with astronomy.
Oh, an answer. Sort of. I'm curious as to where you're going with this as well. I don't know about you, but usually studies are done to find out what la reality is actually like. But you know, I'm sure it's actually aliens or some shiz.
No government would want to show all of the money wasted, billions, trillions of dollars, on these things, when in fact it was wrong.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. They spent a bunch of money to find out the shape of the Earth, and they don't want people to know the results because they used to be wrong? But that doesn't follow. If you look at any other scientific field, finding out something is wrong doesn't tend to be a bad thing. At least not ultimately. It's always considered the beginning of a new set of inquiries and new ideas, and any government being sad that things aren't the way they thought would be completely irrelevant to people making new and fascinating discoveries. I don't believe for a second that even if the most powerful group on the planet wanted to hide this type of thing, I don't think they could, even remotely, because humans are just such curious little buggers. I mean, seriously, I keep finding them in my basement trying to steal my booze. Well, joke's on them, I already drank it.
Now you may ask yourself, how did they disclose this when we have live videos from the ISS showing an oval Earth, and we also have photos showing the round Earth?
Clearly that's because the lizard people are using their high-end magitech to trick your squishy human minds into believing it's looking at a circle when it is in fact a tringle. It all adds up when your calculator is broken.
Well, the answer is simple, and it's an old answer.
Translation. You know what? I'll give this one to you, audience. What does that mean, really? Answers in the comments section. Winner will be decided by whoever buys me a Mega Drive Mini first. Soon, my precious. Soon.
Mirrors.
Mirrors. Mirrors. I bloody knew it! Screw you, buddy. That's what you get for making me fat.
Now, we use mirrors in everyday applications for hundreds of years now, even thousands.
Sure, and I could be wrong, I don't remember when we built one even remotely big enough to effectively obscure the shape of the planet. That sounds like a pretty big job, and I think people might have noticed when we launched the gigantic sod into space. But again, I could be wrong.
Looking into a mirror distorts light. As the light is refracted back to you, it distorts it, it reverses it.
No, it's reflected back at you. I mean, arguably it's refracted to some extent if it's a glass-topped mirror rather than, say, a really flat, really shiny hunk of metal. But I'm pretty sure that's not what you mean. I hate to have to go into this kind of pedantry when I know what you do mean, but getting things jumbled is a huge part of why you lot have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Mirrors, concave mirrors, or funhouse mirrors are able to make long and tall objects seem round.
Therefore, flat Earth! Oh, I'm sorry, I meant pyramid Earth. I get confused because it's all variations on a handful of the same stupid arguments over and over again. But hey, At least it's funny.
It's very simple. Have you ever been in a funhouse and looked in the mirror?
I've never been anywhere even remotely fun, thank you very much. I did once go into a house of mirrors though, but it was just full of these ugly tossers, so I left.
Now imagine a concave or convex mirror, large one, was placed above the Earth at a certain diameter in the atmosphere or above.
You know, I was planning on giving you the benefit of the doubt and correcting myself when you told me that you didn't actually need a giant space mirror, seeing as size is relative and you could have reflected the Earth off a much smaller mirror quite easily. But there you go, being dumber than I actually thought. Well done. That is impressive levels of derpitude.
What would happen?
People would see it because it would be really, really, really obviously there.
Could you take the pyramid shape and make it round?
Kinda, but only like from very specific angles depending on the mirror. How many of these bloody great big things have we got up there to take multiple photos? I think I can guess. Is it 0?
Absolutely.
Called it!
And now you wonder why a pyramid if God does not build in straight lines.
Doesn't he? That's weird. I mean, if he exists and how exactly you define straight lines, then surely he made this and these. Oh look, that's pretty straight too. Yet another flawed premise. Well, I am surprised.
Then why is the Earth in straight lines?
I guess because he doesn't do and exist. It's the only logical conclusion to your question.
Well, very simple.
Oh yeah, of course. It's not.
If you look into history,
You first.
between the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the ancient Egyptians, the first civilizations on Earth,
Sorry, what?
the first civilizations on Earth,
Civilized?
they were able to construct pyramids. Why a pyramid without a basic understanding of mathematics, trigonometry, geometry?
They did have some understanding of it. Why is it so hard to think that they could, with some experimentation, figure this stuff out themselves without the need of some kind of divine intervention? Humans, as much as I hate them, aren't that stupid. Some of the time.
Why? Because they were visited.
No.
Most likely by an advanced race.
No.
If you look in Egypt, there are lithographs, paintings, and drawings of extraworldly beings contacting them.
No.
You will see the same in the Mayan, the Incan empires. It's not so hard to believe.
Oh, it is. But you know what's not hard to believe? Sick brand merch. Take it away, me. Do you want pretty okay clothes at fairly alright prices? Then head on over to Sir Sick's merch store. There you can buy sick brand merch and not a lot else. Who needs food, water or accommodation when you can have a hoodie with my face on it? No one. That's who. I can't even afford them because I have a home. Like a moron. So get on over today before these printed to order clothes run out somehow. And you're gonna need a lot of them when you're sleeping outside on the ground with your family like that. It's cold out there. I do envy you.